This week we are coming at you live from the Kincaid Arcade at the Oak Park Mall with our special guest, Mike, from the Coffeehouse and Darkmoon Comics. Welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse. Warning.
Red alert.
Danger, Will Robinson! Danger!
That's the emergency alert. This episode is full of spoilers for some of the latest and greatest nerdy movies and shows.
Spoilers.
Listener discretion is advised.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse podcast. I'm Billy Taylor.
And I'm Taylor Oxner.
And this week we are coming at you guys live from the Kincaid Arcade at the Oak Park Mall. We got a special guest. We got some cool stuff we're going to talk about. But usually we start every episode with, what have we been nerding out about this week? So Taylor, how about you tell us, what have you been nerding out about this week?
This week, I have been, the past 2 weeks, we talked about it. I had at one point sold a Nintendo Switch that I owned, and then I got one again. Well, for some reason, a lot of the information that I had didn't transfer over, so I'm replaying Adventure in Smash Bros.
Yep.
Because I have no characters, so I had to start from zero. Or the original 8. Is it 8 you start with, so. Right? And so I've been going through that. I'm at 400 battles, and I've been playing it for like a week and a half. So, it's kind of all-consuming when I'm not husbanding or fathering.
Understandable. Man, for me, this past week was my oldest daughter's birthday, and we did a few things throughout the week, but the final thing we did as a family was a daddy-daughter date to go see the new Little Mermaid. And I'm not going to lie to you, that movie was fantastic. And I am just nerding out about how good that movie was. It was just me and my two daughters, but I kind of want to go again with the whole family. Like, that's how good it was. I will pay again. I have to say, out of all the Disney live-action remakes from cartoons, hands down, it's the best one. That's what I thought. Yeah. So,
even better than Lion King?
I liked that one, but yeah, I thought this one was even better than The Lion King.
I think that's an aggressive decision.
Right. But hey, that's what we've been nerding out about this week. And before we jump into the main thing here, let us introduce our special guest, Mr. Mike Gladney from the Coffeehouse in Olathe and from Darkmoon Comics. And you guys have heard him before on our podcast. He's the man in charge of all the trivia nights that we talk about every now and again and everything. But Mike, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing great, y'all. Thanks for having me out.
Yeah, we're super excited to have you here. And how about before we get into this, what have you been nerding out about this week?
To be honest with you, NCAA,
Nice.
The new one, has been confirmed to come out. I can't wait. I play NCAA 15 on my PlayStation 3, and I got like 54 seasons going right now.
Oh, wow.
I control like 8 different schools. It's crazy.
That's amazing.
It gets really competitive in my head.
That's awesome.
I used to do it with like baseball games where you could set up where you have like their seasons, baseball seasons, like ridiculous amount of games, and so you could like auto play the teams you didn't want to play against.
Yeah.
And so and then you could trade everybody that you like to your team and do all that with those games too. So those were a lot of fun to just make the most stacked deck you could do.
Hey man, like when you get deep into sports games, it gets deep.
It does.
Well, awesome. Well, hey, like I said earlier, Mike runs the Coffeehouse in Olathe, and about a year ago we sat down with Mike and talked about the shop, what got him into all this, and I thought it would be cool, a year later to talk about how things been going, what's it been like running the shop and everything like that.
First and foremost, I want to thank all my customers. Y'all are the only reason that I'm still going over this past year. So again, I appreciate y'all. Thank you very much. Let's see. It's been great, man. I have only been making coffee for a year, so trying different flavors and just mixing different stuff with coffee and hearing people tell me they love it, it's a great feeling. I drink black coffee every morning, right? So
yeah, in the same way.
I mean, I try every drink I make, but I don't drink it daily.
Yeah.
So to hear my customers tell me that the drinks are good, it feels great. Awesome. Business is definitely starting to pick up. Like last week, we had one of our busiest weeks. I'm very optimistic about what's coming forward for us.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I know it's been cool seeing you do things in the community, and you were involved with Planet Comic-Con, you were involved with Free Comic Book Day, all kinds of stuff. Ooh, tell us a little bit about your experience getting to run that panel at Planet Comic-Con.
Oh, it was great. Just getting to meet the artists and all the people that showed up. It was a great turnout, and just setting that up with Comic-Con. They were great throughout everything. It was daily communication, so that everything we needed, they took care of. And just being able to be there and listen to the artists and just hear them badmouth Marvel and DC was great.
Yeah. Yep. I always like to hear like the little weird things the artists and writers are like complaining about, because like you can go back and like read books about Jim Starlin or like people like that back in the day complaining about other. So like this is like a time honored tradition to be working for a comic book company. You can't enjoy it. Right. It has to be the worst thing ever, but like your best work ever, right?
Yep. I mean, well, they were mentioning some very logical points. Like now, when you watch a movie, say if you watch it on Disney Plus, the credits roll where they get their credits shrinks down to a little box and shows you what's coming next. So you don't even get to see really, unless who watches credits though? Yeah. You know, if you know an end scene's not coming, who's watching the credits? So like, I mean, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, if you have IMDb, it's like, what's the point, right? Because 9 times out of 10, the reason I would look at the credits is like, who was that person? Who was that?
Right.
And then you see it and you're like, okay, I'm good. And that's only like the first
That's the first 15 seconds.
Yeah, 15 seconds, maybe a little bit more if they have one of those like end sequences where they show one name at a time right before they do the list. But
they rightfully were upset, so I get it.
Yeah, I have a couple film buffs who they will watch the credits out of some sense of I don't know if they think it's like some sense of respecting the director and things like that, but there are very few of those
respecting
people.
Every single person that worked on that movie.
Right. Exactly. So, but yeah, it's cool.
Hey, I get it, man. Somebody has to do it.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So, thinking of other parts of your shop, how is the comic book side of the shop going?
Oh, it's going great, man. To watch kids walk in and see characters that they've seen through the MCU now in different fashion. Because, like everybody knows, the MCU is different from Marvel Comics. But to explain it to them and just see them start reading it and then come back and want the next one, to read the comics that I read growing up, man, it feels pretty good. The sales on them are going good. Like I said, I don't sell out the wall, but I sell enough to keep me going. So, and once again, the wall is reloaded every month. I got a large plethora of comics. Yeah. So, like, I got it. If I don't have it, I will definitely look for it for you. I just got set up with Diamond Distributors.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I got new toys on the way, posters, all kind of stuff, man. So, like I said, man, I'm extremely optimistic about the shop.
Yeah, the good thing about Diamond is that if you're successful, they hook you up.
Yep. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep. I mean, to be honest with you, I've been purchasing myself some McFarlane toys. You know?
As you should.
Yeah, like, I mean, I get the discount, so I mean, I might as well.
It's basically free.
No, that's awesome. Well, hey, that's kind of our little segue. Speaking of comic books and everything, you've been involved with Darkmoon Comics lately, and I know a year or so ago at one of the Fountain City Cons, Taylor and I talked to, I believe, Brandon Calloway.
Yes.
With Darkmoon Comics, we talked about his book,
Shout out to Brandon.
Yeah, shout out to Brandon. But yeah, give us a little heads up of what exactly that it is you're doing with those guys, and then some stuff that they've got in the works.
Oh, well, right now I'm officially taking over as editor-in-chief on the comic side.
Nice.
So we got a lot of stuff coming. This year. Right now, Michael is on Kickstarter. You can find it on our Instagram page, on our Facebook page. We really appreciate your support on that one. It's a great story. Go in there, read it, and wait on Detroit Red because he's coming next. And then Prometheus. The Regulators is the main story that's coming. There's a picture of them on our Facebook page. We got a lot of characters. We are introducing a lot of great villains and a lot of amazing stories, man. I can't wait. I'm extremely excited about this opportunity.
That's awesome.
That is so cool. So, what is a spoiler-free summary of what Michael's all about?
Michael is the Archangel. Mark.
Okay.
That's about as much as I can give you.
Right on.
Without giving it away.
Is it like a Spawn scenario?
No, I wouldn't say it's not. It's not that dark.
Okay.
So I mean,
Fair.
it's
Not many things are.
yeah, not yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's not that dark. But like I said, it's a great story. It's a different take on the Archangel Michael. It's a completely different take on it, and I think people will love it.
So,
Yeah, I've only seen the artwork and it looks super cool. So
Great artist, man. Like all the people that I've worked with have been amazing. Like I said, I'm extremely excited for Detroit Red. That's the one that I'm like. Since I took over, it's been a lot of reading.
Yeah.
Like I'm just reading every different script that I can. Because beside the Regulators, we are working on other things that are coming out. We are looking for artists, writers, everything. So if you're interested, please get at us. Please do. Detroit Red is one that I'm personally working on. He's basically this guy who was thrust into this world with the memories of two different lives, but neither of those lives were his. So he's finding out who he is and also finding out that he's different as far as like he's pretty much indestructible. And his story is very personal to me just because I've been working on this for a little while. And this is my first comic book officially. So yeah, man, I just can't wait.
that's awesome.
that is so cool. So tell the listeners, where can they go to find information of how to maybe buy some of these books or get these books online or whatever it is?
Michael, you can go to the darkmoon.com website at darkmooncomics.com, Facebook and Instagram.
Nice. So yeah, everyone listening, go out there. They have a Kickstarter going on right now too.
Kickstarter for Michael is going on right now. Please, we would love your support. I tell you, this is going to be something different, and we got a lot of great stories that I guarantee you will keep you on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, at the very least, chipping into the Kickstarter, you get to read the book. So,
Hey, man, it's a win-win situation.
exactly. Well, cool. Well, Mike, I'm glad we got to catch up a little bit, and I'm excited for all the things that are going on with you. The Comic Coffeehouse is in Olathe on the corner of 151st Street and Ridgeview in that little plaza area next
Your
to
favorite
Jumping
hero's
Catfish.
favorite coffee.
Yes.
I gotta remember to tell you that.
Right across the street from Garmin. So check these guys out. Go buy some books. Go buy some drinks. Become a regular. Come back all the time. Do it. And also, Darkmoon Comics. Go to the website. Go to the Kickstarter. Go to the social media pages. You're not going to regret it. But yeah, man, I'm glad all that's going well.
Hey, man, it is going great. Like I said, man, again, I'm very, very optimistic, man. I feel like this is going to be a great year. And I just had a baby boy. So
Right.
I feel like I'm complete at this point. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like I am. I got a lot more to come, but I feel good.
That's
Good,
so
man.
awesome, man. Well, hey, let's talk a little bit about some of the news. It's kind of a light news week. We saw a few rumors this week over in the Marvel Universe. We've talked a little bit about Deadpool 3, and we know Wolverine's going to be in it, but the big rumor the past couple days is that not only Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is going to be in it, but also Halle Berry, Famke Jensen, and James Marsden are supposed to show up in this movie as well.
And also the return of Magneto as a villain.
Right? So, how are you guys feeling about this?
To have a Magneto in the MCU with that character. You know, it's funny, it's the first time I ever saw Magneto wasn't actually an X-Men thing. It was a Fantastic Four thing. So like back in the day, he would be in like his Magneto car. Mm-hmm. And it's the most ridiculous like thing ever. But that was my initial first blush of that character. And to have Ian McKellen come back, but also the rumored a completely new person playing Magneto, I'm just the idea for another time-honored great villain who is also has that Thanos thing where it's like if you look at it from his point of view,
He's not wrong.
he's not doing the wrong thing. He's doing what he thinks is right. So the fact that he believes it so hard makes him such a great villain. And
Yep.
the turnover from him to being a reluctant hero was such a great arc that has been going on since like 83.
Well,
So yeah.
I've never looked at Magneto as a villain. If you look about what happened to him and what was done to him, he had every right to hate humans.
Yes.
Like who wouldn't?
I agree with that, but it's not every right to throw a nuke sub into the water and kill like 1,000 people at one time.
Great, man.
And if we're talking about the ultimate Magneto,
It depends on your point of view.
but he is one of those that I've always connected with on a way that was like, I'm going to do something because I think it's the thing to do. And it's, even though if it's not, not saying that I'm a huge villain who believes what he's doing is right, but just saying standing on your ground like that, and the whole Xavier and him both standing on their ground with that, I like that. I like the whole like civil rights.
I always
like,
loved
thing.
that. He would never bring harm to Xavier.
Exactly.
Like, he wouldn't. Like, even though he's done some stuff, he'll mess up the X-Men.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Xavier,
No. I mean, that's his boy.
that's his boy.
Yep.
It kind of like, he is, if you read the newer X-Men,
Yeah.
Dark Beast.
Yes.
Dude is
Sick.
crazy.
That's like one of those like Age of Apocalypse characters that I was so happy they kept around, because like some of those characters were awful, just to say like nice. Some of them were so cool. Sugar Man, I'm still on the fence about all these years. I still don't.
It's like Condiment King.
Well, hey, a little bit more Marvel. This weekend is the premiere of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I'm so excited to see this movie. We actually get to see it a couple days early, so I'm a little pumped about
Jealous.
that. But right,
Hard to be impressed.
but I know the answer. But how excited are you about this movie, Mike?
Nah, man, I'm extremely excited, dude. The first one had me just awestruck in the movie theater. Like watching a comic book. And the storyline, like the story was great. To me, like I was telling you earlier, what would be great is if Miles fell into the MCU.
Right, just opened up.
I'm still don't believe that's not going to happen.
To me, that's what's going to end up happening. That's going to be a reality he steps into, is the
Yeah.
MCU.
And I think what's going to happen is first Sony's going to start sinking. And then they're just going to start selling. Which is, let's be honest, they're already getting closer and closer to that conglomerate becoming one thing. So, very exciting. By the way, the movie, two things I'm most excited about it is Spider-Man 2099 as a key character.
Yes.
Yep.
In something that's, cool. I get to see this in the 90s.
Not a skin on a game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. And then on top of it, too, a Scarlet Spider is going to be in it. And I don't know if there's anything cooler than putting your web cartridges outside of your costume and wearing a hoodie. But if there is, I don't want to know what's not cool.
Exactly. Amazing. Well, let's see. Over on the DC side of things, we talked a little bit about The Flash, a little spoiler-free last week. On the movie side of things, well, the TV side of things, The Flash had its series finale. That whole thing wrapped up. And as a big fan of the Arrowverse for over a decade, it was by no means a bad finale, but it just left me feeling like that was it. That's it. Won't get too spoilery about it or anything like that. I had to throw this out there. I was underwhelmed with how they closed the Arrowverse.
This is coming from the man who loves everything.
I love so much. This was, yeah.
So for him to complain about something, I know that I will watch it.
Hey, man,
and
I love
feel
the first 3
emptiness.
seasons of The Flash.
Right.
Hey, I think from what I understand, and I'm not there yet because I'm very behind because I watch it after I buy the seasons because I'm weird. But from what I understand, they should have just ended the whole CW after the Infinite Crisis thing.
That would have,
Been great.
yes, it was perfect. It was perfection.
Yeah.
Been great. Would have been great.
Also, I need them to throw that 4-part thing out there as a maybe a Blu-ray, one streamable
They gotta eventually
thing.
do it, man.
I hope they
have
do.
to.
Or like make it so where they put it like, you know how like you used to be able to get the DBZ things and you could put it where on the Mover it only plays the theme song once and
Right.
then runs through without any kind of credits or anything.
Yes.
Like that would be cool, like in a movie format, or like even a Zack Snyder 17-hour cut format.
Oh, please bring it. That was so good. The Arrowverse crisis.
Not the Zack Snyder 17 hours.
And I didn't hate it. It just
You don't hate anything.
I mean, I enjoyed the story. It was long,
yeah.
but I feel like it was long because it was supposed to be 2 movies. Okay.
Yes.
All right, but hey, I sat there and took it that whole 8 hours. Okay.
It was
my.
easier to take than Dune. I'm just throwing that out there. Well, hey, the last little bit of news tonight is over on the Star Wars side of things, and any fan of anything Star Wars probably saw this coming, but they just kind of recently have been reporting that Tamara Morrison, aka Jango Fett, Boba Fett, random stormtrooper that showed up in Obi-Wan, is going to play Captain Rex from the Clone Wars in the Ahsoka series. So for the first time in live action, we get to see Captain Rex played by the guy that all the clones were based on, and I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, that's really cool. I hope he's playing multiples.
Yes.
So it's the same guy, but like they change his makeup a little bit on each one to make him. I think that'd be really cool.
Shout out to Disney for doing all this extra, making this bank off all this extra Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, I was telling Billy, I go, you know, I think I realized the type of Star Wars fan I am is just so surface level at this point, because I only like Star Wars stuff if it appeases the fan guy in me. I'm sorry.
Right, I'm right there with you. Like, some of my favorite stuff on Disney Plus is The Bad Batch. Just for some reason,
so
I love it. I love it, man.
Yeah.
There's some stuff I haven't even watched yet. Of course, I watched The Mandalorian, okay? But other than that, I start Obi-Wan. I watched like the first 2 episodes. I haven't finished it. There's other stuff on that.
It's fine.
Like, there's just more stuff that gets my attention that I'll stay stuck into.
I'm super excited to see live action Ahsoka, live action Captain Rex.
I am excited.
The Ahsoka
I am
show.
excited
Very
for.
much.
It's going to be great.
Mostly because Rosario Dawson's in it.
Yeah, she's amazing.
She is awesome.
Yes, she is.
I saw a friend of mine was at a convention, Pasadena maybe, sounds right, but he got to meet her and Ashley Eckstein together. They did a photo op together with him.
That's crazy.
And that was so cool. Well, that's about all the news tonight. Normally we close off with some local stuff, but since we have the man here himself, just a quick shout out to the Comic Coffeehouse in Olathe. Again, go buy your comics there, go buy some coffee there, go
have a good time.
Exactly.
I make amazing coffee.
Yes.
Okay? Amazing.
It's
I've
good.
had it. It's good.
And Mike, are there any upcoming event type stuff? Any trivia nights? Anything
Trivia
like that?
night will be back next month. It is Game of Thrones. We are running Game of Thrones. We had some scheduling conflicts with the last month, and then just a lot of stuff. Graduation, whole bunch of stuff came up. So Game of Thrones will be back next month. We are doing another indie spotlight with a couple local artists next month as well. So just be on the lookout.
Awesome. Well, yeah, once again, before we sign off, go to Facebook, Instagram, all these places. Find the Common Coffee House in Olathe. Find Darkmoon Comics. You're not going to want to miss out on all this really cool local stuff right here in the area.
We also have a competition coming up to win yourself a week full of free coffee.
Ooh.
I mean, my wife isn't even in the room right now, but she heard that, and she'll be looking to work on what to do. Well, hey, ask for us here at the Taylorverse. I've been Billy Taylor.
And I'm Taylor Oxner.
And come back next week and hear what's going on out there in the pop culture universe.
Bye.
Bye. This episode was brought to you by the Kincaid Arcade. For all of your arcade needs and video game fulfillment, go head on over to the Kincaid Arcade at the Oak Park Mall in Overland Park, Kansas. These guys have every imaginable classic game possible. They have arcades. They have every console you could think of. They have special tournaments all the time. They set up parties and events for all of your party needs. So head on over there once again to the Kincaid Arcade at the Oak Park Mall in Overland Park, Kansas. Go get a bracelet, go play free play the whole time, and have a blast.